Hi everyone, thanks for watching. This presentation is based on my research paper regarding the lack of maternity leave in the United States of America and why I believe it should be implemented and made mandatory in our country. Currently in the United States, there are no nationwide laws mandating maternity leave. However, there are some exceptions where you may fall lucky if you work for certain companies. Back in 1993, the Family and Medical Leave Act passed, stating that if you worked for the company for more than 12 months, you worked more than 1,250 hours in the last 12 months, and that employer employed 50 or more employees, then they had to pay you a certain amount of maternity leave to mothers for a certain amount of weeks. This act mandates employers to give their employees 12 weeks off. However, it does not have to be paid. Currently in the United States, 5 states in the United States do have laws that mandate paid maternity leave. Those states are Washington State, New Jersey, New York, California, and Rhode Island. However, Washington, D.C. does mandate it within the city too. Other countries are much further ahead of the United States when it comes to mandatory maternity leave. Countries like Sweden offer an average of 11 months of paid maternity leave, and some new mothers getting up to 15 months or more. Other countries like Switzerland offer 14 weeks of paid leave. However, their pay only equates to about 10 weeks of that. Still much further ahead than the United States, averaging in at 0 weeks of paid maternity leave. By looking at the list to the left, you could see lots of examples of how lots of other countries have mandated maternity leave, what they offer, and how many weeks, and what kind of pay. Other countries are The United States came in last place in multiple studies when looking at maternity leave across 37 developed countries. If you look below, you can read statistics regarding how they looked at this information and processed it. It's sort of complicated, so I'll let you read it for yourself. When researching the benefits from maternity leave, I found numerous benefits revolving behavior and development. For instance, it is very important for mothers to have skin-to-skin time with baby. It's important in the first initial weeks, not just hours after birth. Also, they found babies and toddlers who were able to spend ample time with their parents after birth during infancy had much more positive behavior during infancy and toddlerhood. When new mothers don't have maternity leave as an option, this could force them into sending their newborn babies into daycare earlier than they'd like. Not saying that daycares are bad in any way, but often they can be very overwhelmed with the amount of children that are there, and they are not able to give all infants the one-on-one time that is needed for the best amount of development, cognitive development, emotional and mental bonds, and even physical development like crawling, sitting up, because the daycare provider is actually juggling their care in their own 2 hands amongst all the children. When a mother can stay home with their own baby, it is more likely that they are able to give that one-on-one time to their children, or only divide it between their other children, not a whole center full of kids. When researching Other than infant development, there are other great beneficial reasons why maternity leave should be mandatory in the United States. For instance, those mothers who are able to stay home with their children postpartum are able to have a more increased chance of being able to successfully breastfeed. That is proven to be healthier and beneficial in numerous ways when it comes to bonding, health, and cost for the family. Also, has been proven that maternity leave has made it so mothers are less likely to have postpartum depression, and it's better mental health for the entire family unit. Other employers have their reasons for being hesitant about offering paid maternity leave. Reasons are that they believe that they could give the new mother the paid time off, 12, 14, or more weeks, and hold their position for them to decide at the last minute that they actually don't want to come back to work. So they cashed in on the benefits of the paid time off while spending time with their baby, and then decided that they would actually decide just to be a full-time stay-at-home mom. Other employers believe that it is not their responsibility to fund a family, that individuals make that choice, and it is not up to them to pay for it. If people want to have babies, they should pay for them and figure out what they're going to do with work on their own, and it's not their responsibility. Employers, however, many studies have disproven all of those theories. For instance, studies and surveys have shown that mothers who were given ample maternity leave, paid time off to spend in time with their new children, actually return to work with better attitudes. They're more positive, eager, determined, and happier at their jobs. Not only are they happier at work, but they get more done and are actually found to be more efficient and proficient at the job. However, there are great detailed reasons as to why paid maternity leave can actually be cost beneficial for everyone involved. For instance, mothers who are able to successfully breastfeed due to the increased likelihood when given maternity leave could save $1,500 a year from not using formula. Mothers who decide to use cloth diapers, and it's much easier to do so when they're home and not trying to shuffle everything back and forth to daycare, could save on average between 20 to 30 cents per diaper. Mothers also, families entirely actually, can save $5,000 in the first 14 weeks if they are able to stay home with their child and not send them to daycare. There's also commuting costs and travel costs that are obvious, we would think of as obvious costs, but if the mother is able to stay home, they don't have to put gas and wear and tear in their vehicles. Another thing is employers actually benefit cost-wise too. And since so many studies have been done surrounding breastfeeding, we know that breastfeeding is linked to less chances of infancy and childhood illnesses or colds, viruses such as ear infections, strep throat, anything in that sort of realm. So we know that mothers are less likely to have to stay home with a sick child due to small illnesses that would keep them from daycare or school if they are more successful at breastfeeding, statistics show. And since we know there is such a strong correlation between the success of breastfeeding and maternity leave, we can give credit to maternity leave for those statistics. There are great detailed many studies. To summarize, we see that the United States is the only developed country that does not offer some sort of paid maternity leave nationwide. We see that other countries offer paid maternity leave that varies in length and pay, but they still offer it in some shape, way, or form. There's a wide range of time and pay, but it is offered. We also see that it is extremely beneficial to everybody impacted and involved that we offer paid maternity leave in the United States. It is very crucial and very important that the United States adopts these laws. To summarize, I have a large list of great sources that I used for my research paper. I found the majority of them on the Harkness Library, and I actually used the CDC for one too. But I had a great wealth of information found on there and some awesome graphs, statistics, studies, charts. It was really great and helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for all your support and feedback throughout the class. I learned so much from this course, from the course material and from all of you. Congratulations, everyone, and good luck with everything else.